18 July 1665. The plague increases mightily. Indeed, it is now all about us. The streets grow thin, and many houses are shut up. I dare not go abroad without a camphor or vinegar cloth to my nose, for the air itself seems corrupted. This day I passed down Seething Lane and saw the red crosses newly painted on 3 doors, with Lord have mercy upon us writ beneath, and the mournful sight struck me to the heart. Toward evening I walked by St. Olave's, and there beheld 2 buriers, letting down a body with much haste. No bell was rung, nor parson present, for the dead increase so fast that ceremony is abandoned. The dead cart came close behind, the driver ringing his bell and crying in a most lamentable voice, "Bring out your dead," at which several looked out from windows, but none dared approach. Shops every day grow fewer, and trade is come to a stand. Those who may have fled the city, others lock themselves indoors. Even the taverns, where but months ago men filled the rooms with laughter and debate, now stand empty. It is a sorrowful thing to behold London thus. Late July, early August, 1665. This day, going through Lombard Street, I saw 3 coffins borne, one after another, the mourners keeping far off. The buriers, I am told, can scarce endure the labour, being at work both night and day. The sextons are worn out with fatigue, having neither strength nor time for proper graves. Many of the dead are cast together in pits with no more ceremony than covering earth upon them. The cries from within shut-up houses are grievous to hear. Whole families are imprisoned with the sick and dying, and though neighbours bring food and drink, they leave it on the doorstep and flee. August 1665. All men now fear one another. Friends come not to visit, nor will any take a coin or parcel save with tongs, lest it be infected. Physicians confess themselves ignorant, and the clergy go about with trembling hearts. A man may walk down Cheapside at noon and scarcely meet a soul. The very dogs wander as if aware of our misery. September 1665. The bills of mortality exceed all belief. Near 8,000 this week. The churchyards cannot contain them. Great pits are dug, and carts go continually to and fro, filled to the brim. The stench is such that people fall sick from fear alone. Never did I see London in so wretched a condition. Every hour brings some new report of death. Every house holds fear. God preserve us, for we are in a time of utmost dread.
From the first weeks of June the burials in our parish increased beyond any man's reckoning, and the sextons came to me daily with more names than could be written before night. The churchyard was so overfilled that pits were dug lengthwise, and many bodies laid therein without pause. I went out at dawn to take the toll of the dead, and scarce had I begun when the watchman brought another cartload from the shut-up houses. The corpses were tied in their sheets, some with the marks of the tokens still upon them, bluish spots about the neck and under the arms. All day long the bell tolled, until the rope was worn smooth from use, and the ringers could scarce stand upright for fatigue. At times more than 20 were buried before the sun set, and yet at nightfall the dead cart still creaked through the streets, the driver calling in a mournful voice, "Bring out your dead." I saw a woman follow the cart barefoot, crying to God that her husband had been taken from her before she could bid him farewell. The driver bade her keep back, for fear the sickness would seize her too. She fell in the road and beat her breast, and none dared go near her. Houses stood marked with the red cross from end to end of the lane. Within them whole families lay sick together, and though the watchman set bread and ale at the threshold, many went days without comfort. When at last the doors were opened, I entered to record the names, and oft found none alive to speak them. The air of the churchyard was heavy with a foul vapour, and when the great pit was opened, the stench rose so vehement that the labourers covered their faces with cloths dipped in vinegar. Some fainted outright. Yet the pit must be filled, for the dead increased beyond measure. This summer has been nothing but the count of the dead. I write the names until my hand aches, and still they come. I pray daily for deliverance, for the living are few, and London seems a place forsaken. I was appointed watchman in the month of July, when the sickness had grown so fierce that new houses were marked daily with the Red Cross. My charge was to stand at the doors of the shut-up houses from sunset to sunrise, allowing none to go in or out save the nurse, and she only when I could be sure she bore no mark of infection. Many within were desperate for air, and begged me through the boards to let them walk in the yard. Others, being half beside themselves with fever, would try to force the door, and I was commanded to keep them in, though my heart misgave me to do it. One night, a man within called to me that his wife had died an hour past, and that he could not bear the sight of her lying on the floor. I had no power to enter, so I told him I would fetch the buriers. When they came with the cart, they bade him tie her in a sheet and lay her on the threshold. He wept all the while he moved her, but dared not touch her skin, for she was marked with the tokens. The streets at night were a fearful place. The dead carts rolled by with their lanterns dim, the driver ringing his bell as he went. Oft I saw the buriers carry 3 or 4 at once, with no more ceremony than if they were logs of wood. The dogs followed after, howling in a manner that chilled the blood. Some tried to bribe their way out. One woman thrust a purse at me through the shutter, begging to flee to her sister at Islington. I could not take it, for if she went abroad she might spread the plague further. She cursed me for condemning her, yet the next day I heard her crying out in delirium, and on the 3rd morning the nurse told me she was dead. Every hour brought some new horror. Once I heard a child sobbing within, calling for its mother, who lay motionless beside it. The nurse dared not touch the woman until the buriers arrived, and the poor child clung to her skirts when she tried to lift it away. When my watch ended at dawn, I went home weary in body and in spirit, for London was become a place of sorrow. Yet the work must be done. If we left the sick to roam, there would be none left alive.